I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. When my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Moon to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Za'Darius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now Sanders. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. He was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The numbers for Jones last week, There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that carries over to this week as well.
On second down and 4, Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a gain of 35.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some.
Hey, check 26.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, if they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the gun, here's Moon. It's his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. There's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do you do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage. And, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On second down, it's Carson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Move, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Zadarius Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is Simpson with a catch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. To throw is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Carson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the counter, here's Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Rodgers now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers caught by Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. Now Jones. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers, touchdown, Packers. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Rodgers. And he whips that one incomplete there. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Moon. He's got Burton here. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Moon. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 5. Check. 53's Mike. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 53's the Mike. 53's the Mike. Hey, let's get it.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Rodgers now hitting on 2/3 of his passes. 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Rodgers now on first down. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, orbit. 53's the Mike. 53's the Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with a pack. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second. Second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got some space here. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down now, it's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Moon to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, Charlie.
From the 16, Rodgers. He's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Check, check. We got it, we got
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll run on first down. Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. On second down, here's Moon. And he completes it to Cohen. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 39.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 39-yard line. This is Carson. The tackle made by Blake Martinez. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. On the draw, this is Cohen. And an alley to run. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Bears on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw, Moon. And that is incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The Packers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
53 is the Mike. Mike, 53. 53. Hey, take 26.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Moon. The open man here, Renfro. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
To throw on 2nd down, Moon. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them until the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Throwing after the interception. Moon. This one into the hands of Burton. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Moon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Moon. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
First down, Chicago. I got you, son. I got you, son.
Draw play, Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Caught outright by Renfro. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Moon. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start.
Let's go.
And they try the sweep to Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Cohen. He spins free. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Moon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
319.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They'll try and run for it with Jones. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run it with Jones. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Green Bay, they improved to 5.